There are locations on this planet today that you will never be permitted to explore, not because the journey is too expensive, not because the distance is too great, but because what lies within them is considered too risky, too precious, or too confidential for the average person to witness. Some of these sites protect the destiny of humankind, while others preserve solutions to mysteries humanity has searched for across countless generations, and a few of them are so classified that authorities refuse to acknowledge their existence. This is our countdown of 10 of the most restricted places that remain completely off limits to you. Stay with us until the very end, because the final entry reveals a mystery that has remained sealed and hidden for more than 12 centuries. Hidden deep beneath more than 2 miles of solid ice in East Antarctica, about 800 miles away from the South Pole, rests one of the most astonishing water bodies on Earth, known as Lake Vostok. This remarkable lake has remained entirely cut off from the outside world for at least 15 million years. Scientists first identified its presence through radar technology during the 1970s, yet accessing it without introducing contamination became one of the most difficult engineering and scientific challenges ever faced. Positioned directly above this hidden lake stands the Russian Vostok Research Station, located in one of the harshest environments on the planet, where surface temperatures have dropped to the lowest level ever recorded, reaching -128 degrees Fahrenheit. For several months each year, the area experiences complete darkness without any sunlight at all. After many years of slow and careful drilling efforts, Russian scientists finally reached the surface waters of the lake in 2012. Only a very limited number of samples have been obtained, and even those findings remain uncertain due to fears that the drilling process may have affected their purity. The true importance of Lake Vostok lies not only in what might exist within its waters, but also in what it can reveal about the possibility of life beyond our world. Experts suggest that the lake could host rare life forms that developed in total isolation over millions of years under extreme conditions, similar to those believed to exist beneath the icy surfaces of Jupiter's moon Europa and Saturn's moon Enceladus. If living organisms are able to survive in such an environment, it would suggest that life could exist in many other places across our solar system. Although it is not officially banned, reaching this lake is tightly limited to a very small group of scientists who must follow extremely strict research guidelines. The Hawaiian archipelago stands among the most popular travel destinations in the world, where millions of visitors arrive each year to experience its beaches, traditions, and warm tropical atmosphere. Yet within this chain of islands exists one place where you will not see a single resort, hotel, or tourist, and without a direct invitation from its owners, stepping onto it is impossible. Niihau is the westernmost inhabited island in Hawaii, covering 69 square miles and located about 17.5 miles southwest of Kauai. In 1864, a Scottish woman named Elizabeth Sinclair bought the entire island from the Kingdom of Hawaii for $110,000, which would equal several million today. Her descendants, known as the Robinson family, still own and manage it. Access to Niihau is limited strictly to family members, relatives, United States Navy personnel, government officials, and a few specially invited guests. Around 170 residents live on the island and have created a community that is nearly completely self-sustaining. Rent does not exist, food such as meat is shared freely, electricity is produced through solar energy, and there are no paved roads or modern vehicles, with transportation relying mainly on horses. For outsiders, the closest experience available is a helicopter tour that allows a distant view of the island. For over 160 years, this isolation has been carefully preserved, and in a world where most places have become commercialized, Niihau remains a rare location where life continues at its own unchanged pace. Throughout Japan, there are nearly 80,000 Shinto shrines where people are free to visit, offer prayers, and find peace, yet one sacred place remains beyond the reach of almost everyone. The Ise Grand Shrine stands in Mie Prefecture and was created to honor Amaterasu, the revered goddess of the sun. It is regarded as the holiest site in all of Shinto tradition. What makes this shrine truly remarkable is not only its deep spiritual meaning, but also the unique way it is preserved. Every 20 years, the entire structure is carefully taken apart and then rebuilt completely from the ground up using ancient Japanese woodworking methods. No nails are used at any stage of its construction. This powerful cycle of renewal has continued for over 2,000 years, symbolizing continuity, purity, and rebirth, with the most recent reconstruction completed in 2013. Access to the innermost sacred area is strictly limited. Only Shinto priests and members of the Japanese imperial family are permitted to enter this hidden space. All other visitors must remain outside, kept at a respectful distance behind wooden barriers that surround the shrine. While people can walk through the surrounding grounds filled with serene forests and beautifully designed pathways created around 150 years ago, the main sanctuary itself remains unseen. It stays concealed behind layers of protection, preserving a spiritual mystery that has been safeguarded for centuries and kept away from the outside world. Among all the islands scattered across the world where human access is restricted, there is one place where the reason is not shaped by politics, culture, or environmental protection, but by the raw instinct of survival. Ilha da Queimada Grande lies around 21 miles off the coast of Sao Paulo and is widely recognized by a far more revealing name, Snake Island. The Brazilian Navy actively monitors the surrounding waters and strictly forbids anyone from setting foot on this 110-acre landmass. The danger comes from a single dominant species, the golden lancehead viper, which is considered one of the most venomous snakes on Earth. The island is home to thousands of these reptiles, with scientists estimating an astonishing concentration of roughly one snake for every 11 square feet of forest. Stepping into this dense environment would mean encountering them everywhere, wrapped around tree branches, concealed beneath fallen leaves, or stretched across rocky surfaces. These snakes are found nowhere else in the world, making the island uniquely hazardous. Thousands of years ago, rising ocean levels isolated the island from mainland Brazil, trapping a small group of snakes without access to their usual prey. Forced to adapt, they began feeding on migratory birds and over time developed venom so potent that it can kill a bird almost instantly, preventing it from escaping into the sky. While direct evidence involving humans is extremely limited, researchers believe that a bite could be deadly before any medical help arrives, based on how rapidly it affects other animals. Only a few scientific teams have ever been granted permission to visit, and even they must follow strict regulations, carrying official permits and traveling alongside medical experts equipped with antivenom. Despite these precautions, the island remains one of the most dangerous locations on the planet, where nature has created a powerful reminder that some places are simply not meant for human presence. Ancient societies followed rituals and held beliefs that may seem strange through a modern lens, yet at times those old fears were rooted in real and dangerous natural forces. This is clearly seen at Pluto's Gate, located within the ruins of the ancient city of Hierapolis in present-day Turkey. This site was once sacred to the Greeks and Romans and dedicated to Pluto, the ruler of the underworld. At its core lies a narrow cave, just large enough for a single person to enter. Writers from ancient times described this cave as a gateway to the world of the dead, a place so dangerous that animals brought close to its entrance would collapse and die within moments. Priests claimed that only the truly devoted could step inside and return alive. Visitors were even able to purchase animals from local sellers to test this phenomenon themselves, placing them near the cave and witnessing their sudden death. For centuries, these stories were dismissed as legend and imagination. Eventually, scientific investigation revealed the reality behind these accounts. The cave is positioned above a geological fault that releases large amounts of carbon dioxide gas through cracks in the earth. Since this gas is heavier than air, it settles close to the ground, forming an invisible layer that acts like a deadly trap. Any living being breathing at that level can quickly lose consciousness and suffocate. The concentration of this gas becomes even stronger during the night and early morning, which aligns with the timing of ancient rituals once performed there. Today, the area surrounding Pluto's Gate is secured with barriers, and visitors are not allowed to approach too closely. What was once believed to be a supernatural doorway is now understood as a natural hazard, proving that ancient legends sometimes hold truths grounded in science rather than myth. Deep within the southern Ural Mountains of Russia, nearly 930 miles east of Moscow, rises a peak known as Mount Yamantau. For decades, this mountain has been surrounded by mystery and ongoing speculation. Standing at 5,381 feet, it is the highest point in the southern Ural range. Satellite images reveal a complex network of roads, buildings, and unusual structures spread across the area, none of which appear to serve any normal civilian function. Work within the mountain is believed to have started during the 1980s, at the height of the Cold War, and continued even after the fall of the Soviet Union. The entire surrounding region is strictly restricted, secured with checkpoints, and regularly patrolled by military forces. Attempts by foreign journalists and diplomats to gain clarity have led to unclear and often conflicting responses from Russian officials. At different times, authorities have suggested that the site is used for mining operations, food storage, a nuclear shelter, or even a reserve for emergency supplies. However, many Western intelligence experts suspect that the reality is far more significant than these explanations suggest. A widely accepted theory proposes that Mount Yamantau conceals a vast underground command center designed to remain fully functional during a nuclear war. Some analysts connect it to Russia's continuity of government strategy, meaning it could serve as a secure location from which the country could continue operating even if Moscow were destroyed. Despite the many theories, the truth about what lies beneath the mountain remains unknown to the outside world. The Russian government has shown no willingness to provide clear answers or confirm any details. Anyone attempting to approach the area without proper authorization would quickly encounter armed military personnel and receive a direct warning to leave immediately. Mount Yamantau continues to stand as one of the most secretive and heavily guarded locations on Earth, a place where questions far outweigh the answers. If you are enjoying this journey and want to discover what lies ahead, make sure to subscribe to Forbidden Fathoms and turn on notifications so you never miss any future stories. Now let us move forward to a place that may be the most unusual and astonishing location on this entire list. In 1986, workers conducting ground tests for a power plant near the city of Mangalia in southeastern Romania unexpectedly uncovered something had been completely isolated from the outside world for nearly 5.5 million years. What they discovered would challenge long-standing scientific understanding about how life can exist and survive. Mobile Cave is unlike any cave ever known. The air inside contains extremely high concentrations of hydrogen sulfide and methane, along with only about half the amount of oxygen found in normal conditions. Simply breathing in such an environment without proper equipment would be extremely dangerous. To reach the inner chambers, visitors must descend through a narrow vertical shaft dropping around 65 feet before entering a complex system of small enclosed spaces and underground lakes. Fewer than 100 individuals have ever been granted access, and each visit requires special approval from Romania's Cave Research Authority. Visitors must also wear protective gear designed to prevent contamination of this delicate environment. What makes this cave truly remarkable is not only the danger but the unique life forms it protects. Completely cut off from sunlight for millions of years, the cave has developed a fully self-sustaining ecosystem based on chemosynthesis. Microorganisms at the foundation of this system rely on chemical reactions involving hydrogen sulfide and methane instead of sunlight for energy. These microscopic organisms support dozens of rare species that exist nowhere else on Earth, including blind aquatic scorpions, translucent leeches, and insects with unusually long antennae adapted for navigating total darkness. Mobile Cave offers one of the closest examples of how life might exist on other worlds, such as beneath the frozen surfaces of distant moons. This is exactly why the cave must remain sealed, because even a single careless visit could introduce foreign bacteria and destroy an ecosystem that took millions of years to develop and survive. Deep within a mountain on the Norwegian island of Spitsbergen, roughly 810 miles from the North Pole, lies a tunnel stretching 430 feet into the permanently frozen ground. At the end of this passage, behind multiple blast-proof doors, sits what many experts call humanity's most crucial safeguard, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. The vault was conceived with one terrifying possibility in mind. What would happen if global agriculture were to fail? Whether caused by war, climate change, pandemic, asteroid impact, or any other disaster, the crops that sustain 8 billion people could suddenly disappear, and the seeds stored here would become the last hope to rebuild. Today, the vault contains over 1.3 million seed samples representing almost every nation on Earth. These include ancient crop varieties no longer cultivated and wild plants carrying genetic traits that may help resist future droughts, disease, or other agricultural threats. Access is highly restricted. Only authorized personnel can enter past the vault's main portal, and even the countries depositing seeds can retrieve them only under extraordinary circumstances. The first withdrawal occurred in 2015 when seeds were temporarily removed to replace a collection destroyed during the war in Syria. These seeds were returned in 2017 after new storage facilities were completed. In addition to human conflict, the vault has faced natural threats. In 2017, rising temperatures caused the permafrost around the entrance tunnel to melt, allowing water to seep inside. No seeds were damaged, but the event prompted a $20 million upgrade to strengthen protections against future climate warming. The irony is clear: the vault, built to preserve humanity from disaster, is already being tested by the very forces it was designed to withstand. Despite these challenges, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault remains a symbol of foresight, resilience, and hope. A hidden sanctuary preserving the genetic diversity of life on Earth and ensuring that even in the face of global catastrophe, the seeds of survival are secure. In the northwestern corner of the Czech Republic lies a region known as Bohemian Switzerland, home to some of the most striking and dramatic rock formations in all of Europe. Among these natural wonders, the crown jewel is the Pravčická Brána, a stunning sandstone arch that rises 52 feet in height and spans 87 feet across. This impressive formation holds the distinction of being the largest natural stone arch on the continent. For decades, it was one of the most visited attractions in the region, drawing travelers from around the world who came to walk across the top and take in panoramic views of the surrounding forests and valleys. Yet every step taken by visitors gradually contributed to its deterioration. The very sandstone that creates its extraordinary beauty also makes it extremely fragile. Engineers and geologists began to notice that erosion was accelerating at a concerning rate, raising fears that the arch could eventually collapse, posing a serious danger to anyone nearby. In 1982, authorities made the difficult but necessary decision to prohibit all public access to the top of the arch. Today, visitors can still admire its grandeur from specially constructed viewing platforms below, but no one is allowed to climb on it or touch its surface. Since the ban was enforced, the pace of erosion has noticeably slowed. Yet even without human interference, the arch continues to weather naturally over time. Pravčická Brána's fate remains inevitable. It will one day succumb to the forces of nature and collapse. The restrictions have not preserved it permanently. They have merely bought the arch more time to stand proudly over the forests and valleys. While human footprints are no longer contributing to its decline, the arch's beauty remains a fleeting reminder of the delicate balance between nature's magnificence and its impermanence. Visitors can still experience its awe and marvel at one of Europe's most extraordinary geological treasures, while respecting the careful measures that protect it. Finally, we arrive at one of the most restricted and closely guarded repositories in the entire world, located within the walls of Vatican City. The Vatican Apostolic Archive is a treasure trove of secrets, stretching back more than 12 centuries. Its sheer scale is staggering: approximately 53 miles of shelving hold documents that chronicle the history of the Catholic Church, in many ways, the broader story of Western civilization. Within this vast collection are letters exchanged with kings and emperors, detailed records of papal elections, treaties that reshaped nations, and countless documents that have never been seen by the general public. Access has been partially granted to scholars since 1881, but the limitations are strict. Researchers must present credentials from recognized universities or research institutions, specify which documents they wish to consult in advance, and are closely monitored in reading rooms. Direct entry into the archive storage areas is strictly forbidden. Following a decision by Pope Francis in 2020, documents up to the year 1958 are now available to scholars, while everything after that remains completely sealed from view. Among the known treasures are historic documents such as the papal bull of 1521 that excommunicated Martin Luther, personal letters penned by Michelangelo, and the full records of Galileo Galilei's trial before the Inquisition. Yet, it is the unknown documents that spark the greatest curiosity and speculation. What other letters, confessions, or secret records are hidden within those 53 miles of shelves? What truths have been kept from public knowledge for centuries? The Vatican has never revealed, and perhaps will never reveal, the full extent of its secrets. From a crumbling sandstone arch in the Czech Republic to a cave sealed for over 5 million years in Romania, and now to the most secretive archive on Earth, our planet is filled with places that carefully guard their mysteries. These are spaces the ordinary person is not allowed to enter. Which of these forbidden places surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you have stayed with us until this point, your curiosity and taste are clearly exceptional. Subscribe to the Forbidden Fathoms channel and join us as we continue to uncover the hidden, mysterious, and extraordinary places that remain beyond reach.